Hey guys, Mr. Jones here with you. Another quote of the week, and this one is by somebody you probably haven't heard of. Her name is Corrie Ten Boom, which is just the most amazing name ever. But she's an awesome person. Look her up. Look up her story because she did quite a lot of cool stuff. So as we move into November here, I like to focus a lot on the virtue of gratitude in November with Thanksgiving and everything. But before we get into that, something kind of related to that is the topic of forgiveness. And this quote talks just about the basics of that. Um, and so it says, forgiveness is an act of the will, and the will can function regardless of the temperature of the heart. So what Corey Ten Boom is saying here is that she's saying all this language you might not be as familiar with, but basically this first part is saying forgiveness is an act of the will, meaning it's something that you choose to do. Okay, it's started off by a choice. It's not began by like a feeling, like you feel as though, oh, I'm all good with this person. Now I can forgive them, right? You almost never like feel ready to forgive somebody when you can forgive them or when it's time to forgive them. You probably, if you're like me, you might still hold a grudge, or you might still like have a little bit of sour feelings left in there towards that person. But and you look at some people, you look at some older people, there's some people that never forgive, right? They always kind of just, when somebody wrongs them, they kind of just push that person aside forever. And we live in a culture right now that is very, very unforgiving, right? If somebody does something wrong, and I know a lot of the time we've looked at like these different celebrities that have done pretty terrible things, but the new word now is like that you're canceled, like that person is canceled because of what they did. And so, it's a culture where it's like everything that you do wrong is kind of put under the microscope, and everything, everybody's there for everybody to know, and the internet helps with that too. But we live in a very unforgiving time, and I think the world would be a better place with some more forgiveness there if people did make the choice to forgive. Okay, and it's hard because you almost never feel like it. Like I said, you almost never feel like ready to forgive someone. But what she's saying here first is that it begins with a choice. Okay, it begins with a choice. You have to tell yourself, okay, I don't know if I feel like it, I don't know if I'm fully ready to, but I'm choosing to forgive this person for what they did. And that's what it's saying. The second part is the will, or what you're choosing to do, can function regardless of the temperature of the heart. So even, and that's basically what the whole quote is saying. So even if the temperature of your heart, or what you feel, is not quite there yet, you can still make the choice, right? And that choice to forgive can almost even like override the feelings that you have in your heart, right? Because when you tell yourself, okay, I am forgiving that person, everything is good now, then you can almost tell those feelings within you, like, hey, no, that person's forgiven, we're good now. And it might not seem right to do that, or you might not be like, okay, you might be like, that's not, that doesn't seem right. Like they should suffer, be, I deserve to feel bad or angry towards that person because of what they did. But if you're feeling like, okay, that could be really hard, let me ask you something. Have you ever been forgiven for anything that you did to somebody else? It may be. I know I have, and it's the amount of just gratitude and love and awe that you feel towards the person that forgives you is unbelievable, especially if you realize kind of the amount of hurt that you caused that person. So learning to forgive is a really tough thing, and I like to challenge you guys with these quotes of the week because it's tough stuff. It's not easy. It's not something you automatically just are born knowing how to do. But it's something that is so worthwhile learning what it means to forgive. And again, so often it begins not with how we feel, right? I've heard another quote, a little bonus quote in here, is that we listen to ourselves far more than we speak to ourselves. So that means that whatever kind of, we're so much more prone, and this is so true of me. Um, we act based on kind of what we feel instead of kind of telling ourselves, okay, no, this is what I should be doing right now. This is what I should be doing, and kind of, so you let your feelings control you instead of you controlling your feelings, I guess. And so being dominated by your feelings isn't always a healthy thing, and it can lead to a lot of harm and hurt, and you making some bad choices. And so anyway, so if you my challenge, I guess, with this is that if you do have people in your life that you're holding stuff over against and that have really hurt you, I'm sorry. First off, I'm sorry that you've been hurt. But think about what it would mean to forgive that person. Or maybe think about people that you've been hurt that you need to ask for forgiveness from. And again, I think the world would be a lot better place if we weren't so quick to shame and guilt people and just point out all their things that they did wrong. But pointing those out can be a good thing, and it can be helpful bringing things to light, like injustices that are happening. But the next step is forgiveness, and the next step is moving past it and choosing to forgive. So that would be my challenge to you guys, is to do that. Okay, and I'm learning how to do it too, so we can take that journey together. So, all right, guys, that's all from me. Have a great week.